Yeah, g'day, it's Charlie ZL2CTM. Well, I'm very conscious that I haven't actually been very active over the last few months in putting out projects, which has been a bit of a combination of moving locations, setting up a new shack, setting up antennas, about a COVID which didn't help, along with some other challenges, so it's been relatively busy. But however, there have been a couple of projects going on which, right or wrong, I didn't actually put up, but just want to sort of quickly go through those now and then sort of talk about some projects that I want to work on moving forward. One of them I was playing around with was an old Codan 7727 radio that I've had for a long time. I picked it up as a junk sale and it didn't have the main motherboard, it just had the linear power amplifier board at the back. So I did a conversion loosely based on some work by Murray Greenman, ZL1 BPU, regretfully a silent key, to convert this into a linear power amplifier for one of the QRP rigs. So it takes 1 watt in and then puts out 100 watts PEP or 50 watts CW. So it's very much a bit of a junk box radio, a junk box amplifier I should say. Power comes in, I won't go through any great depth, oops daisy. Power comes in through here, through a 30 dB attenuator, just made up of 1 watt resistors in two joined together, 20 dB and 10 dB, the output of which then goes across a 100 ohm pot to allow me just to fine tune the drive into the main amplifier itself. Just trying to keep some separation there between the low power side and then eventually what will be the high power side. On this side here, let me see if I can just get that camera a little bit better. Power comes in on the right hand side here through the main amplifier, and then what I've elected to do for the low pass filters is I stripped out the ones that came with this and I actually used from another junk box radio that I bought, its series of low pass filters there, which gives me 160, 80, 40, 30, 20 and 15 meters, which is quite nice. The amplifier itself works across that range quite well. So kept the initial rotary switch and then just did a whole lot of sort of rewiring to make it all work. But anyway, the amplifier itself works really well. So like I say, loosely balanced based on the work from Murray, and it's been really good. So 1 watt in on this side, and then basically, like I say, 100 watts PEP out on the other side. So that works really well, so I'm quite happy with that. The other thing I've been playing around with is these really inexpensive automatic antenna tuners that you can get on AliExpress. This particular one cost me the princely sum of, if I'm just reflecting now, 30 I think it was New Zealand dollars. Good for 100 watts, and in fact I've been using this with this amplifier here with no issues at all. Really very inexpensive and quite frankly works quite well. I elected to just put into a simple aluminium case here. I actually went back and reflashed the microprocessor there to run on the old 16 by 2 LCD display. I found that the OLED display which it came with gave me the same problems I've had before with other radios. Just a little bit of RF noise coming through there, just a little bit of a noisy device, and no matter what I could do I couldn't actually get rid of that noise. But reverting back to the old style LCD, that noise just totally disappears. So yeah, very good. But what this has sort of made me think about is wanting to roll my own antenna tuner. I bought this one because it was just so inexpensive to play around with. So I got off AliExpress this series of relays here. So this whole module costs 14 New Zealand dollars. You know, you can't even buy one relay for that price just about. So yeah, absolutely really inexpensive. So I'm going to, well, one of my upcoming projects is to build a QRP a low power ATU. It's not designed for any kind of for out in the bush work. It's just purely to scratch an itch, so to speak, in terms of rolling some code to do an ATU based on, and I'll just use one of these Arduinos here. Not quite sure if I go for the full size one or the nano or the micro. It doesn't really matter, but suffice to say that the whole idea is to use this relay module here and just have the inductors and the capacitors switched in and out. I might look to leverage some of the lessons learned on this one and here in terms of the values of the capacitors and inductors used there. But either way, that's going to be a plan to do that. One of the other things I want to do is to revisit some of the CW transceivers. I sort of been following quite a bit some of these Potter and SOTA activations, so I'm sort of quite keen to sort of get out more and do some out in the field radio work. But one of the things I've really wanted to try is I want to try a pedal. So for the longest time I've been using a straight key, not particularly this one here, but this is one I've got here. And what I would like to do is have a play around with a pedal. I've been humming and hawing about either a dual pedal or a single pedal, and at this stage of the game I'm going to do a single pedal. And I think what I'll do, just to have a play for a start, is to make the pedal out of double-sided PCB board, just to play around with it to see if I like the whole sort of sensation and the feel. And if I do, then I might look to fork out for a more of a commercially made pedal. But like I say, for now it'll be a homemade pedal. The radio itself, if I can get away with it, again I'll just use one of these little inexpensive little microcontrollers to run the radio and to do all the auto dits and dars with the pedal. So that is one of the projects that's coming up. I've got one other VHF radio that I'm building at the moment, which I probably won't put up online, but once that one's complete, then I'll get into probably the CW radio first, with summer coming along, so I wouldn't mind having that up and running, and then down track I can look to play around with the ATU. So that's sort of the some of the projects on the immediate horizon, and that is probably about it. Got some busy weekends coming up with AREC work, but now that the shack's set up, I can sort of get back into some project work. It's not quite perfectly set up, but it's close enough for now. Anyway, so again, apologies for not having a video up for quite some time. Like I say, it's been quite busy over the last several months, and I just really haven't had a chance. But suffice to say, back online again, and looking forward to getting some solder melted and back into some radio work. So I'll say 73 here, take care, and I will have a video up as soon as I'm into that CW radio. So until then, like I say, 73.